clean up when we go to places. So when you go to Uhud, you'll be really upset. I tell you right now, you'll be upset to see Coke can and there's a janazah prayer every day after every prayer. So you have to get used to it. Are we on?
Yeah, do you want to start?
Yeah, we'll start so they can get the information. They don't need to know this. So we'll start this and then we'll go, inshallah. I have this bad allergy. Huh? Yeah. And if you're not on emergency call, please turn off your phones for the next half an hour, 40 minutes. Okay. Is that mic cut off or?
Yeah.
No, mic. Okay. All right. Can they? Okay, sound, everything is fine. All right. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الهم والحزن وأعوذ بك من العجز والكسل وأعوذ بك من الجبن والبخل وأعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال اللهم إني أسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في ديني ودنياي وأهلي ومالي وصلى الله تعالى على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. I want to welcome all of you guys and everyone who's online. We have a beautiful group of people. We have about 30 people from UK, about 20 people from Australia. We have people from South Africa, from Malaysia, from Norway, all over the world. The people are coming and joining, obviously from US and Canada, joining in this sacred journey to go to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a great honor for all of us. Honestly, if you do the statistic, we shouldn't be going. Like statistically, it's impossible for us to be there with 1.5 billion Muslims and how many people go there every year for Hajj or Umrah. The chances are very little. And in terms of dhawq or love or desire, there are people who have probably 1,000 times more desire to go there, but they don't have the financial means. They don't have the physical means. They're probably disabled or they can't afford it and they can't go. So we have to be really grateful that we are able and go to the holy sanctuary. And on top of that, you have to remember one thing. And wallahi, I tell you this with experience that I've seen with my own eyes. Mecca and Medina is only by invitation. I'm telling you, it's only by invitation. And I tell you a story about 3 years ago when we went, and I have witnesses here, that the people who were with me. There was a group, we went on the second caravan, and we went to Mecca first. This year we go to Medina first. We went to Mecca first. We did our Umrahs, and we started going towards Medina. Halfway through going to Medina, there was a very beautiful young woman who was with us, who was sent from here, from America, who was a PhD in psychology and, mashallah, very successful lady. And she went, and we went to Medina, and halfway through, she started acting up. in a way that I thought she had jinns or something. So when we stopped at the parking at this place to pray and to get some refreshment, she walked out of the bus and she said, "Oh, they're about to get me. Oh, he's coming to get me." And I said, oh my God, what's going on with her?" And she just walked away and went and sat inside somebody's car at the gas station. So I run, and I'm running, and I'm trying to get her. And this guy getting in his car, he doesn't know. Obviously, somebody's in his backseat, about to turn on the car and go. And I opened the door, and I said, "No, they're getting me. They're trying to get me." I said, "Nobody's getting you." My sister, "Come out." So I had to pull her out, and then I realized that she wasn't well. So when we put her on the bus, she was like really as though, I can't explain it, as though like she was being, somebody's like ripping her apart. She started shouting and screaming and holding on to the seat and scratching herself. She goes, I can't go. Stop the bus. Stop. So we stopped the bus in the middle of this place, and I took her out, and I got on the bus. I got on the, hold on. Can you make sure that there's nobody on the mic in the main hall? So I took her out, and I had to go back to Jeddah, put her on a flight back to JFK, send her home, and then I went back to Medina. And then I realized at that point that there's two invitations, one for Mecca, one for Medina. It's two separate invitations. So trust me, don't feel so safe if you're going to Medina that you're going to go to Mecca. You know, something could happen. So it's really an honor to be invited, number one, to get visas, number two. We had 2 visas rejected, 2 beautiful young convert sisters who just changed their laws. Saudi, that they won't issue visa to converts unless they're over 45, which wasn't the same rule past few years. Converts over 21, no, they would issue the visas. So having said that, I had to send them the email and saying that, and they were very gracious on and just saying, you know, it wasn't meant to be, so alhamdulillah. But I know how painful it is for them to prepare all this time and to get ready, and I've been in communication with them, and it doesn't happen. So this is the first step. So Mubarak, congratulations to all of you for, you know, the visas being issued, alhamdulillah, for getting the first step done. The second is getting there, inshallah, and once we get there, we need to have the utmost level of adab. These are the cities of adab. The foundation of a religion is adab. If you don't have adab, no matter what you have, is meaningless. So in Medina and Mecca, you have to be like, you know, you tippy-toe, you know, when you walk, if there are thorns around you, that's how you have to be. Like, literally watch your steps, watch what you say, watch how you deal with people. And I remember a few years ago when we went, and Sheikh Hamza told us a beautiful story, and it was because of what I said, and I made a mistake in saying that. He said you should buy some stuff from here and take it to your store and sell, because it's permissible to do that when you're on Hajj and Umrah. You can actually buy stuff and take it and sell. And I said, Sheikh, you know, some of the stuff here is more expensive than California. He said, no, they're not. Stop. And I said, what did I say? He said, don't say that. Everything here is a very good price, and we shouldn't bargain. So, and then he said there was a man who came from Syria, and he went to the cheese store to buy some cheese. And he said, how much are the cheese? And he said, it's, you know, 2 dirham. And the man said, oh my God, this cheese in Syria is much cheaper. Why are you selling it so expensive? So that night the man slept, and he saw the Prophet ﷺ in his dream, and he said, get out of my city and go back to Syria where their cheese is cheaper. So he literally, like, he got the Prophet upset for doing this, losing adab in his city. So we have to be careful how we even have conversation with the people, with the merchants, so everything with utmost level of adab. And alhamdulillah, I have to say that with Say Caravan, when we leave the hotel, people like literally they come and start crying. I remember one year, like, the manager was crying. He said, we have never seen a group of people like this in our lives. He said, there's buffet, everybody comes and they fill up their plates. Your group, they come, they take a portion. If they want, they go back and get more portion and eat. There's nothing left on their plate. It's who are you guys? You know, what kind of training did you guys get? I say, alhamdulillah, generally people come because they are students of people like Sheikh Hamza and that minhaj, and this is the reason why you see that training that they have been through. So in terms of that, I have no problem that we will have, inshallah, all of us good adab. Just a reminder for myself. So before we start, some house rules. We go over some of the stuff before we leave. One of the things is that this year, as you have seen, there's the world has gone mad and is getting madder. So we have extra security. People who have been with us the past few years, we do have very privacy laws that we want to make sure that the group is, everything for the group is for the group, nothing outside. And then, so this year we have extra security for the group and for our scholars, and then we have extra privacy rules. No guests allowed, no family. People have families in Medina and Mecca. They're not allowed to come into the program or come into the hotel to see. If anybody has that, they contact us and we let you guys go and visit them and then come back and to the classes and to the program. We can facilitate that. But everybody has to be identified and be part of the group to be part of any of our activities. And we ask people not to share anything from the program. So you receive what hotels we're staying. Don't put those stuff on Facebook. Oh, we're staying at this hotel and we're going. You know, the thing that happens is, one thing is for our thing, is a lot of people, they come in and they try to basically hijack our scholars from us. Oh, we have a program in here. Can we take you? And if that happens, like, we lose our scholars for that day or for that class. So it's actually just keep it in the down low. The other thing is I wanted to also mention about the flight information that the people who are going from San Francisco and everybody who's going on Emirates Airlines, there are people from other states, Chicago and LA and Houston and Dallas and all those places on Emirates. So we'll be staying in Dubai. Everybody when they get their passport, they have a voucher for the night. So in case, so we usually get out together, but sometimes some people take their time and they don't want to leave. They want to stay in the airplane till everybody leaves or whatever. You have that choice. But it's very simple if you've been to Dubai. If you haven't been to Dubai, you just get out. It's just you exit, you get a stamp, and then once you get out, there's the buses. Even if you show your voucher, they'll show you. There's a shuttle bus that takes you to the hotel, and that's it. And we'll have people. Haji Wali will be there. I will be there, and a few other people with signs for Seki Caravan, and obviously we are going together. So this group, I'm talking about the people who are coming from other states, they can join us, and then we go to a hotel, spend the night there. We'll have dinner included in this package, and also the next day breakfast included in the package. We'll leave. Our flight is at 2 p.m. the next day, so we arrive at about 7:30 p.m. and so we have enough time to go to the hotel, sleep. Some people go out. I can't tell you guys not to go out or to go out. That's your decision. I personally would like to get some rest. You know, maybe I'll go to a restaurant or something at night, and then I usually come back, and I don't go for sightseeing in that time because time is very short. But if you do know your way around and you want to go, you're welcome to do so. It's your responsibility. And then we'll see you the next day. You have to be at the airport. They have shuttle, obviously, but make sure you're there at least 2 to 3 hours before. Dubai airport is huge, and sometimes lines are really big, so please make sure you're not late for the Saudi flight, so you don't want to miss that. And then once we get to Medina, inshallah, there will be buses that will take us out once we leave, and then we'll go on the buses to the hotel. We'll check into the hotel, and then you should have had everybody received the email, right? If you haven't received the email, please send the email to info@sekicaravan.com so we can resend it to you. It's called Info Pack. At the end of the Info Pack, it has the daily schedule. We purposely took out the places that we go for the day because of privacy and security. So we will tell you on the night before that tomorrow we're going here to this place. So we didn't want that email on the email. Other than that I just want to say that once you leave America anywhere you go, you'll be disappointed with the system. It's just a fact of life. You go to Europe, you'll be disappointed. You go to, I go to Germany, travel to, it's just like, why can't they have our system, right? Our system. Why can't I have this system? I mean, one thing about America is it is a country of system. They got it down, everything. The problem is when the system breaks down, it doesn't work that well. And when the system breaks down, it really works well in those countries. They know how to work it out. But there's no system. That's the problem. So when you get there, don't lose your patience. Why am I standing in this line? Why is only one guy working stamping the passport? All right, I'll tell you a story. You're gonna laugh. So we went to Jeddah last 2 years ago. So I'm going, my wife, my kids, my sister, all of them. So I have like 6, 7 people passport. I'm the mahram, and I put it in front of this guy, and he gets the stamp. It puts all the passports, open them like this, and then some guy from the back calls him in Arabic, and he says something to him. So he leaves the booth, and he goes there, and we are standing there in ihram, and probably about 5 minutes. But that 5 minutes is like 50 minutes because you're so tired, you're jet lagged, and you're standing here. It's like, where's this guy at? And then both of them, they're talking and talking, and then they burst out in laughter. They laugh so loud, and he like, what happened? So he comes back, and he goes, man, that was a funny joke. That was a very funny joke. He just told him a joke. So you have to leave, go there to hear his joke, laugh, comes back, stamp the passport. Okay, Haji, gives me my. So you can't get upset. I was like, what are you going to do? I was in ihram. I said, mashallah, must have been a very funny joke. So there'll be some difficulties in these things. Be patient. It's not America. That's all I got to say. The system is really not that sophisticated, unfortunately. So be patient with the arrivals and departure in buses. Sometimes buses are early, sometimes a little bit late. The point is that we have to be, we expect you guys to be on time based on our schedule. So if we are late, know that there's a flaw in the system. All right, we are trying. But if the system is working and then you're late, that's bad news, because then we will miss a lot of things. So just make sure when we say 7:30 be on the buses, come down. If the buses are not there that day 7:30, they come at 7:45, just stay there. It's okay. But when the buses are there at 7:30 and then we have to wait till 7:45 for you to come down, that's not good. All right. All right. So then we'll have inshallah an orientation on the first day. We'll walk the masjid for the first timer. So many people have been there before many times, and even those, they need reminder. If you've been there like 5 years ago or 6 years ago or 10 years ago, you're going to a new world. Trust me. It's like, don't even think you know the place. You don't know the place. You'll be lost. In Mecca, you'll be lost. In Medina, you'll be lost. So it's good to be reminded about the whole masjid, get a universal look at the masjid. This is where we're at. This is our hotel. And how to find your hotel and how to find each entrance and the woman entrance. Alhamdulillah, we're staying at one of the best hotels in Medina. This is like it's an exclusive hotel. We've been there since 2005 only one time. And the reason why, because it's hard to get into this hotel. It's very expensive, and it's a 5-star elite hotel, the Umrah in Medina. And one of the reasons why it's very packed all the time is because it's closest to the women's entrance. So a lot of people, they want to go there, because the thing is, if you look at the mosque of the Prophet ﷺ, we see the picture of it. It's huge. It's huge, like 1.5 million praying there. So you can imagine. So if you're going from one side to the other side, inside the mosque, you're walking 15 minutes. Just inside the mosque to get to it. So you can imagine you're saving that 15 minutes of walk inside, and especially for the sisters who want to go to the Rawda. Now, women's Rawda time is after Fajr, after Dhuhr, and after Isha. After Isha is a little bit more, probably about an hour after Isha. Those 3 times they open for women only to go to the Rawda. The masjid is open all the time, but just the Rawda, is this space between where the Prophet ﷺ is buried, and there's a green carpet in that area. So there's a famous hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ma bayna mimbarin wa baytin rawda min riyad al-jannah." Between my member and my house is a piece from the pieces of paradise. So that piece is actually from paradise, and that piece will be resurrected in paradise and hereafter. All right, so it's a special piece. So if you pray in there and your feet get in there and your forehead prostrates there, that means you prostrated in paradise. And one of the dua is a good dua that I benefited from one time when sometimes you gotta take initiative. And the problem between adab and initiative is always there's that fine line, right? Am I losing adab? So I saw in 2006, I saw 3 of the scholars standing there in this green carpet. We had this visit, and they put their hands together. They were saying something, and all of them, they had their hands. And I was standing there, saying, I don't care what they're saying, I'm putting my hand on top of their hands. So I just went and put my hand on top of their hands, and they were making dua, Ya Allah, you promised that whoever's in paradise, you won't kick them out. If we are in paradise, don't kick us out. So that's a good dua to do, that we are in paradise. Ya Allah, continue to this blessing on us. My wife suggested, and she's an expert in the women's Rauda. She said the first night, please, if you're wheelchair, you have to go with wheelchair to the Rauda. Don't go on the first night when we go, because a lot of first timers are going, and the people who are helping, like my wife and Sister Nasira, who have been there, and they actually give them a nickname last year, 2 years ago. They said the Afghan smugglers. They said, I don't know how you guys get us into this place in the Rauda. In the Rauda, when you go for the women, it's like going to the Black Stone. That's how crowded it is. So you have to be patient. You have to be in a group. You have to make sure you help each other and stick together, the sisters. So they know a way how to get in and how to get out. So just follow them, and they'll help you to show. And then once you learn the system, then you can do it yourself at the other times. So the next night, then they'll take the wheelchair people. So because it's a little bit difficult to handle both at the same time in Medina Munawwara. All right. In terms of photos and stuff, we recommend don't take photos in the first day or 2 when you go there. Personally, that's my recommendation, because you want to be present. You don't want to be absent. A lot of people are like, oh, let me take a photo and send it to. No, forget about send it to somebody. Just be present and just take everything in, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So after that, when you go to the masjid, you want to take a photo, there's nothing wrong. We don't have any issues with that. But just make first day, like go to Mecca first day, don't take photos when you're doing your first, Umrah, and do selfies, in front of the haram, look at me. It's a place of selflessness, all right, not the place of selfies. And then the only rule that we have for photos, no photographs in the classes. So while the shuyukhs are teaching, no photographs. It's just bad adab, honestly. It's just somebody's teaching you, taking photos or videos and things like that. And when we go on tours, when the shuyukh or speakers are talking, ask permission before. Say, can I take a photo of when you're talking, for example? They say no, just respect that. And then you can take photos after that. So we go to Uhud, you can go take 1,000 photos of Uhud, with yourself, your family, of the scenery. But just when you're taking pictures of other people, ask their permission. Because sometimes I don't feel comfortable with somebody coming and taking a picture of my children, for example. So ask me. I don't know who you are, for example. If they're family or friends and you know them, that's another story. So just to have that courtesy between our group, because you don't know some guy from Australia is like, why is he taking my photo? Maybe he, it'd be nice to just have that communication open. In Medina, when you go in, they actually search your bags inside the mosque for the woman. All right, so if you have a purse, they look into it. So if you have a camera, they won't let you in. If you have a sharp item, they won't let you in. So make sure that's why don't take your purses. These backpacks are the best. Just have your whatever you have in there. Like if you want to take your sandals or a prayer rug or something. A lot of people, they take their prayer rug just to make it mubarak in the road. So they pray over that, and then they bring it as gift for their family. So. All right. Badges. This year is 100% enforced. We will give you badges. We'll give it to you. This looks like this. Second Caravan with actually, we've been looking for badges for 10 years, and finally we found something really sturdy and nice and comfortable. So you'll have the badge with your photo on it, and then this you have to carry all the time. Every program, every bus, every class, you will not be able to get in. And this treated like your ihram. Don't lose it. Don't lose this one, all right? And also, please don't put a lot of stuff in here, because I know some of the Afghani brothers, they put like all their money in here and their passport, and this get like so thick, and then next thing you know, everything is ripping apart. So just take it easy on this one. You can put a pen, you can put some riyals and stuff in here if you want to carry some money, basic money, and that's it. So it shouldn't be. And then a business card for the hotel you can put in there for the address. Yeah, when we get to, yeah. So in Mecca, when we go for the man, you're gonna get a haircut. So please make sure you have some money in here, all right? Or if you're not wearing this, you don't have to wear this. I usually don't wear this during the tawaf, all right? During my tawaf, I take everything out. So make sure you have money with you in riyal, in Saudi riyal. So the good thing is we're going to Medina first. You'll have enough money. It's about 10 riyal to shave, 20, 30 riyal if you go to the fancy ones. So it just depends. Where you go. So this is for everything. Everywhere we go. We have some extra activities. We also have no guests and no visitors. Period. For our program. And then we have some extra activities and that they're on the thing, and we'll announce it there. Like I do a walk from Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ to Masjid Quba at about 11 o'clock at night, one night, and people, usually 30 people, 40 people go with me. So it's not mandatory. People who want to do it, it's a good sunnah because the Prophet did it. You walk from Masjid Quba to the Masjid Nabawi. It is about 50 minutes walk. So we walk, we go there, we sit, we do stories of the Prophet ﷺ for an hour, 2 hours. And the good thing is the masjid is shut down, so we sit outside. There's nobody there, it's quiet. Really good time of reflections. And then that's it. And then we walk back. And some people, they take taxi back if they're tired. So we have extra activities like that, and we'll let you know about those things. And then this on. Yeah. So then we have the Mecca departure from Medina and departure from Mecca. One thing about departures, they make it so complicated that you're like, okay, it's got to be an easier way. Put your bag outside your room, put this tag in here, do this. Easiest way you can do that, check your luggage, put in the buses. That's my advice. That's what I do. Usually we never had anything get lost. Even those things got lost was found. And since 2005. Like even the things that got lost, it was found 2 weeks later, and then they sent it to us. So this is the nature of the haram. But you don't want to take a chance. So if you have luggage, you can put it outside your room. We will tell you. But also say we're departing at 2 o'clock. Luggage has to be on the buses by 11 a.m. So by 11 a.m., either you bring it down, get a bellman, and the hotels that we are staying, alhamdulillah, both have really good services. The Hilton in Mecca, you'll be shocked at the service. Because when we were staying at the other hotel in Mecca, I used to call, can I get a charger? No problem, brother. An hour later, can I get a charger? Oh, it's on its way. 2 hours later, can I get a charger? Inshallah, brother, no problem. 5 hours later, I still don't have a charger. So they would tell you they're going to do it, but they don't do it. And that's the thing. And then finally, you have to go to the front desk, get a charger, and come to your room. Very horrible service. These are 5-star hotels. Service is but the Hilton in Mecca is an intercontinental. These are the only 2 hotels that actually kept the U.S. standard. If you call for something, just like here, within 1 to 2 minutes, it's at your door knocking. Here's your charger. Here's the iron. Here's the extra pillow. Whatever you want. So they're really, really good at it. Alhamdulillah. And the 2 hotels are really. You will inshallah ta'ala enjoy staying at the hotels. I think that's all the rules. So we'll go with the real rules. Okay. So Bismillah. So we'll start the PowerPoint. So overview, manners of visiting the 2 holy sanctuary. So holy sanctuary, Mecca and Medina. So Mecca, the whole city, like we have the Prophet ﷺ has told us, also it's part of the tradition of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, that there is this part called the sanctuary. And this part has different ruling than the other parts. Okay? So that doesn't mean all of Mecca and all of Medina. For example, when we do our second Umrah, we have to leave sanctuary, not Mecca. We have to leave the holy sanctuary. So that's why we go to Masjid Bibi Aisha, which is in Mecca, but it's outside this space called the holy sanctuary. In this holy sanctuary, in this place, there's certain things you can't do. It's prohibited because this place is for worship of Allah. All right? Medina, the same thing, you have the holy sanctuary. In that specific spot, you can do. So, for example, when you go to Quba, they build this apartment complexes in the Quba that they sell. Half of the complex is in the Haram, which is the holy sanctuary. Half of it is outside Haram. So there's some people that they don't want to live in the Haram because of the rulings. They want to live outside so they can buy those ones. There are those, but then if you die outside the Haram, then you don't get buried at Jannatul Baqi. If you die inside the Haram, you get buried at Jannatul Baqi. So Jannatul Baqi is the famous cemetery that's in Medina that all of the, well, they say 10,000 Sahabas are buried there. Bibi Fatima al-Zahra is buried there. All of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ except Bibi Khadija, that's in Mecca. In Mu'alla, we will visit her grave. And Sayyidina Maymuna, which is in Mecca, which will visit her grave as well, inshallah. They're all buried there. You know, the children of the Prophet ﷺ, a lot of Sahaba. It's really from the Sahabas to modern day awliya, they're all buried there. So anybody who dies in this sanctuary, they get buried there. That's the ruling. In Mecca, whoever dies in the holy sanctuary, and may Allah take all of us safe and bring us safe back. But if somebody's gonna die, what better place to die than Mecca and Medina, right? You get buried in Mu'alla, where Bibi Khadija is buried, and other great Sahabas. So, and then visiting the Prophet ﷺ, then we're going to go over visiting the Prophet, and then how to perform the Umrah. So this is the order that we're going to go. So, all right, next.
You don't have any slides on this one.
Okay, so visiting okay, so we'll just go to Medina, then we'll come back. So visiting the Prophet ﷺ, visiting the Messenger of Allah. We will go very quickly today, and the reason why we're going to go quickly because we will do a full class on the same slideshow in more detail in Medina. Because I know that a lot of people will forget all the rules of Umrah, so we'll do the Umrah, but we'll go more detail in Medina before we go to Mecca. We'll do another class. So because here's the thing, you do it once in a lifetime. Prayer, you do it every day so you remember it. Ramadan comes every year at least, right? This is once in a lifetime. So nobody expect anybody to memorize all the du'as and all the... So that's why we have group leaders who will constantly be with you and remind you, okay, this is how it's done. How do you do this? How do you put on ihram? What do you say now? Do you talbiyah first? Do you intention first? Do you do the prayer first? So there are people who are group leaders who will help you step by step so you're not lost, inshallah. So visiting the Messenger of Allah, again, adab is the number one thing. You have to have proper adab when you enter. It's sunnah to go in there in state of purity, ghusl. So this is the beauty of it, that we are staying a night in Dubai. We'll do our ghusl in Dubai, and we'll go to Medina in the state of purity in ghusl, inshallah. So we are doing a lot of things this year that is based on sunnah that we haven't done in years, and you guys are the lucky group that you know, we don't do our ihram on the airplane, for example. Our intention. We actually go to the miqat where the Prophet ﷺ went and did his ihram. So we're going to go there, we stop, we'll do the intention there from Mecca to Medina, and then we'll go and do our Umrah, inshallah, from there. So when we visit the Prophet ﷺ, obviously we'll do a full class in there on the first day on the rules and regulation, and then there's more slides that we'll talk about it in details about it. Just adab is number one. Purity is number two, humility is number three. You have to be humble when you go to the Prophet ﷺ. And then there's certain things that for the women, we'll have a slide that shows like the inside of the mosque where you go and how you're going to give salams. The best way for the women to give salams is from outside, and I'll take all of you, the group, inshallah, and I'll show you exactly where to stand to be right in front of the Prophet ﷺ from outside. And that's the place, I mean, a lot of the men, even a lot of the scholars, they do it from outside because inside it's so crowded and there's so much pushing that you can't really stand for too long and give salams and have that conversation that you want to have at that time. So, and then giving salams, obviously, We have it in the book, Assalamu alaikum, when you stand in front of the Prophet, you say, Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah, Assalamu alaikum ya Habibullah, Assalamu alaikum ya Khayr Khalqillah. You can mention all his titles, Ya Taha, Ya Ahmad, Ya Mahmud. So all his names, all his the characteristics of the Prophet, you can mention by saying Assalamu alaikum and then mention those things. Ya Nabiullah, Ya Khayr Khalqillah, Ya Habibullah. So there's so many. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of them, but you don't have to say all of them. And then this is how we give salams to the Prophet. And then also one reminder for the men: when you go inside the Bab Salam, you enter and you give salam. You would see now everybody has their phones and recording, and then they're looking inside the Rawdah of the Prophet where he's buried. It's a no-no. It's complete bad adab. One of the great scholars, Sheikh Muhammad al-Yaqubi, he said a beautiful thing. He said, how would you like it if somebody's peeking through your window? Some stranger comes and just peek through your window and look inside your house. He said, the Prophet ﷺ, that's his house. He's lying down in his house. And you're just having bad adab and looking through the thing. What are you going to see? There's nothing on the other side. It's a wall. The Rawdah of the Prophet ﷺ is wall. There's no doors to get in, right? And we'll see the picture later. But when you stand there, head down, no look, and people should cry. I mean, if you're not crying in that spot, you got to get out and come back again because your heart is not in the right place, because you should melt in that spot. And then the Prophet, and then Sayyidina Abu Bakr is buried right next to him, and Sayyidina Umar is buried right next to him. So all three of them are in the same room buried together. So then we take a step to the right and we give salam to Sayyidina Abu Bakr, and then we give salam to Sayyidina Umar. So this is the Rawdah. All right. So the Rawdah, so if you look at that, can I make this bigger? Okay. So the first one, if you look at the way okay, let me just show you how, okay. So men are entering from, this is Bab al-Salam, all right? Men are entering from here and exiting from there, all right? Got it? Now this is the green dome on top. That picture is in the green dome, all right? This, by the way, this is not accurate in terms of exact number. We just zoomed it in so you can see, like, there are actually more rows here. But if you put all of them, it would be too big and then you won't see them. So there's probably like 4 or 5 more rows, but you cut it and made it shorter so you can see the whole thing. This area, which is the different color, is supposed to be the green carpet. It's a little bit different when you go there. It's a little bit longer and a little bit wider. But as I said, we have it just for you to see. This is the green carpet area. This is the Rawdah. This is the Jannah. This is paradise. This is where you pray. Half of this would be for the women at the time that the women are giving salams, right? So when you go in to the Rawdah time that we're talking about, this is what you're trying to get in. This whole area, from here to here, all of it. Men always have this area and have this area, except the time that women go in, this area closes down for the man. It's only for women, this area right here. So you guys come from this group. So when you get in there, it's hard to give salams, right? So you can do it from here, or you can do it from here. Give salam. You stand towards the thing. So now, this is the actual Rawdah, which is all that green, nice green fence that's around, if you've seen in the pictures. This is it. This was the room of Sayyidina Aisha. Here was the room of Sayyidina Fatima and Sayyidina Ali, right? So the door of Sayyidina Fatima and Sayyidina Ali is right here. You can see it. For the women can see it when they enter. For the women can. And then, these are like, the reason why I'm telling you these are places of dua. Like, you guys, you don't know where you're going. Like, these are the places. Somebody, the scholars, they say there's 38 places in times of dua that's accepted. And all of the places, like 95% of the places that du'as are accepted are in Mecca and Medina. So you're going to the place that du'as are accepted. This is the room of Sayyidina Aisha. Now, again, the proportion is not exactly, it's a little bit smaller and more to the front. This is the room of Sayyidina Aisha, the wife of the Prophet. This is where the Prophet passed away, right? On the lap of Sayyidina Aisha, right? You guys know the stories. will do all the stories and during the journey, inshallah. So he was buried right here. Okay, number one. See the number one sign? And by the way, you will get this book, inshallah, and you will have it on the plane. You have a 15-hour ride, so you will have enough time to read back and forth. And then this is Sayyidina Abu Bakr. So after the Prophet ﷺ, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, when he died, they buried him in the same room because this was the room of his daughter, right? Aisha was the daughter of Sayyidina Abu Bakr. And then when Sayyidina Umar died, they buried him right next to him because they were the three best friends. And then Sayyidina Aisha put a curtain and lived on this side out of the haiba of Sayyidina Umar, and that because he also wasn't a mahram. Because those two, one is the husband, one is the father, right? If you look at that you see the shape of it, it's a pentagon. It's a 5 zilk, and which is our spiritual headquarters. Right? They have their Pentagon and we have our Pentagon. This is our spiritual headquarters. And that's the house. All of this is a wall without a door. Okay, got it? All of that is a wall, no doors to get in. Nobody has got in there. Says Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, the Khalifa, he protected the Prophet's grave from people having bad adab and going in there and not knowing what to do, and just they were so concerned. So they put a wall and said, that's it. Everything around, closed all around. So the fence that you see when you go in, and then there's the wall. So the cloth that's on the grave is not on the grave itself. It's on the wall that covers the whole room with the 3 graves. All right? So those pictures that you have seen on YouTube and internet, the grave of the Prophet ﷺ, they're all fabricated. Nobody has seen his grave since Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. So unless they had cameras 1,000 years ago. So that's the thing. So now, I don't have my glasses, so I have to go back. All right. So then you have these pillars, all right? And so these pillars are connected to the Prophet's Rawdah. Okay, they're connected. All of these pillars have meanings. Okay, they're not meaningless pillars. All right, they all have meanings. The first one is called the pillar of istiraha. This is the pillar where the Prophet used to take a rest. He used to take his afternoon nap. He had his mattress. It's called the pillar of the bed or the mattress. This pillar is the pillar of the guard. The second, number 7 on your thing. Number 7. Number 5, then you have number 5, and then you have number 6, which is the pillar of the guard. So he used to have a security guard to watch him over until the revelation came in, and Allah says, "Get rid of the security guard. We are your protector. You don't have anything to worry about." And then the third one, which is number 7 on the diagram, is this is the pillar of delegation. When all these diplomats and people used to come to see the Prophet ﷺ, they used to come here. Now, one thing that one of my teachers told me, he said, look at the protocol that the Muslim we had at that time. Because a lot of people like mushriks and people of idol worshippers and everybody wanted to come and see the Prophet from other nations and countries, they used to bring them here, make them sit in the first one. Then there was a security. They would go tell the Prophet somebody's here to see you. The Prophet used to come to them and they used to stand up for him. Instead of they going to him, he had to stand up for them. So they had that protocol even at that time to make sure that the Prophet is honored. Then, so these are good places to pray and make dua. If you get a chance, the best places. Then you have these pillars. All right. So pillar number 8 on your thing is the pillar of repentance. It's the famous pillar of Abu Lubaba, who repented and he tied himself up to that pillar for 10 days and cried until revelation came and he was forgiven. And we'll mention the stories, inshallah, in the program. And then this is pillar number 9, is pillar of Sayyidina Aisha. And this is an interesting pillar that Sayyidina Aisha said that there's a pillar in the mosque. If people knew the value of this pillar, they would fight over it. They would do whatever to go and pray behind it. So, but she knew it. She goes, I can't tell anybody because the Prophet told her. So she kept it. She had to keep it a secret, but she didn't tell anybody. So then the Sahaba, they all waited, and then Aisha's cousin came in, And then she whispered something, told her, and she must have told him the pillar, right? So they all waited, didn't do anything, and he went inside and said, which pillar is going to pray? So he went straight to the mosque and prayed behind this pillar. So they all knew that this is the pillar that Bibi Aisha was talking about. So that's the pillar of Bibi Aisha. And then you have the mihrab of the Prophet ﷺ there. There's the mihrab of the Prophet ﷺ. There's a current mihrab of where the Imam leads the prayer. And again, for all of the men that we will go inside, I will show you exact spot of, and Dr. Asad is going to be with us, and all the group leaders. We will show you. We take small group, 7 to 10 people at a time, so you can see all these spots when we go in and mark it. And then there's a place that the camel of the Prophet ﷺ sat is right there when he came to Medina, and that's the spot is right there. It's marked, inshallah. So then, for the women, when you give salam from outside, right, you will stand right here where you're face the Prophet ﷺ. So I will show you guys, like we will show you exact spot where to stand, where you're straight facing his head from outside, and nobody will bother you as long as you don't raise your hands. So just, when you pray, don't do this, because the police will come and say, it's bid'ah. Don't argue with the police. Just leave. Halas. Just pretend you didn't hear it. Yes, whatever they say, just walk away. And that's about it, I think. And then this is Ashab al-Sufa. This is the bench. It's a raised bench. For the man, pray there. You get a chance. For the woman, pray there. You will get a chance because this opens up for you guys as well. This is where 70 of the Sahaba used to live, and the Prophet used to feed them, including Abu Huraira, including Salman al-Farsi. For all the Persians, you guys got to go pray there. That's our Persian Sahaba, and including Abu Zar al-Ghifari. All of the great Sahabas, they used to live here because they didn't have homes. They were poor, and the Prophet used to feed them every day, 3 meals a day. So that's the Masjid al-Nabawi. There are more stuff that we will go over, inshallah, when we get there. All right. Next.
I have a question.
This is another one. Let me just go over this and then we'll get the question. This is main entrance. You see it, you come in, you see first, second, third arrow. First the Prophet ﷺ, and then there's these holes that says Muhammad on it, and then another hole says Abu Bakr for the man, and Umar. You will see it, all right? For give the places to give salam, and then you exit from the other way, from this one, inshallah. All right, go ahead, yes.
Are you sure they will give us permission to go inside over there because it's too crowded, and most of the time they close the place and they won't let people to go.
Where?
On the Jannat
Baqi.
Yeah.
Jannat al-Baqi opens up. Women cannot go inside in the cemeteries in Saudi. You can go from outside.
No, this place.
And the Rauda, no, the Rauda is open 24 hours.
People go there.
Those areas, the area that you can't go in is this area. Nobody goes in there. It's locked up. It's this area inside this, where the graves are. Nobody goes in there. Right? They open it once a year. The king goes there and he does the thing, and that's it. So this area, all of these are open, 24/7. 24/7 is open. So for the man, there's no excuse that they say I didn't pray on the green carpet, because it's open 24 hours a day. Especially if you go after midnight, it's nice and quiet, and you can get, inshallah, enough time in there. All right. Okay. So now, any question on Medina? Can we get a question from online? Like they can. Yeah, if online, if you have a question, anybody, you can just type it in, and then we'll answer it, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so Umrah, how to perform Umrah. How many people have been there before and did Hajj or Umrah? Okay, how many people now first timer? Okay, good, a lot of first timer. All right, you'll really have a good time, inshallah. You'll enjoy the Umrah. Umrah is beautiful. Subhanallah. So enter into Ihram, circling the Kaaba, the Tawaf, walking, Sa'i is Safa and Marwa, and trimming the hair. All right? So we'll go over those things. Okay, so I think this one goes into ghusl. Okay. So then you do the ghusl, obviously what we talked about before, and we will do our ghusl before we leave Medina to Mecca in our hotel. We put our ihram, and then we'll leave and go to the miqat, and then we'll make our intention in the miqat. And then you do the 2 rakah prayer, and then you do the talbiyah. So the intention, the 2 rakah, this is Surah Qul Ya Al-Kafirun and Surah Qul Huwallahu Ahad. It's sunnah for pretty much all the 2 rakah prayers, like the Maghrib, the 2 of Fajr. It's sunnah to do that for the 2 of we do for Maqam Ibrahim, all of that. So that's basically it. Very simple to start. One of the advice I always give people who go to Umrah, Umrah is the easiest thing to do, I swear to God, for as long as you don't make any mistakes. The problem starts when you make mistakes. It gets so complicated that like it's kind of like those math questions that you can't figure things out, right? And just don't make mistakes. Just don't make mistakes. Like if you make mistakes, then it's kind of like, oh God, what happened? Last year I had one person came and goes, brother, I cut 3.5 nails and one of my hair fell. I said, I only know the ruling for 5 nails and 3 hairs. Now, okay, let me figure this out. Like I had to call back America and they had to go through books of fiqh. 2 days later, we found the rulings. Literally, I mean, just because of it's different. So if you cut 5 nails from one hand, it's dumb. You have to slaughter a lamb. If you cut 2 nails from this hand and 2 from this and 1 from your foot, then it's not a dumb. Then you can do expiated with less. So everything differs. So just be careful. Don't cut your nails during ihram. It's only like 3 hours, 4 hours, right? And a few hours of the bus ride. So those are the things that you have to be really careful not to make mistakes. And the best way to avoid mistakes, and this is the best thing, do dhikr. Because if you're constantly doing dhikr and reading Quran and remembering Allah, you won't be able to do anything else. Just constantly just subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Just keep yourself busy with dhikr. And then you won't do the scratching and you know, I don't know why people do that. You get the urge for scratching when you're in ihram. That's a problem, and everybody does that. It's like, ugh. So, okay, next. What's forbidden during ihram? Okay, the stitched clothing, obviously everybody knows that for men. The ihram, we will provide all the men in Medina, inshallah, before we leave. We'll give you the ihram, so you don't have to worry about it. And then covering the head, you can't wear kufis or anything, or the face, you know, you can cover your face with that. Masks are allowed in case, in different madhab, you have to just, you know, let us know which, if you're Hanafi, because we have Maliki scholars with us, Hanafis, and then this book that we're going to give you has all 4 madhab in it. So if you're Shafi or Hanafi or Maliki or Hanbali, it gives you the opinion for all 4 of them. So that's why it's a beautiful book to have. And so covering the face is not permissible. As a matter of fact, covering the face for women is not permissible either during the Umrah. And then wearing things like, you know, sandals that covers your foot is not permissible. It has to be the 2 strap or the strap that doesn't cover this bone on your foot. And or wearing leather socks or something like that is not permissible for men. Okay. Okay. Also, scent or oil. Once you're in ihram. Okay, not pre-ihram. So you should do all this stuff before ihram, like cut your nails, shave, all that stuff you do before ihram. Once you're in ihram, you can removing of any hair or nail is not permissible. Okay. And then intimacy, obviously. Getting close with your wife or something like that is not permissible in any way, shape, or form. Okay. You can have, I don't know who would do marriage contract in ihram, but please don't do it during ihram. Or hunting animals. I hope nobody goes hunt down, or cutting down a tree. Be careful also, there's a lot of bugs there. You would see some bugs or some, just on the ground. Don't step over it. You don't want to kill any animal in there when you're in ihram. All right. Okay, so this is the explanation of fidya. What is a fidya? You can read that. This is to expiate. So if you make a mistake, fidya is like in prayer, is like sajda sahu. So if you made a mistake in your prayer, you do sajda sahu, and then it fixes your prayer. Fidya, if you made a mistake, and then you will pay that to rectify your wrong. So your Umrah is good to get rid of the hardship. All right? Okay, and then so it's the first one is the big one is the sacrifice of a lamb, sheep, or a cow or a camel, depending. I mean, usually the mistakes are the dams are for a sheep, and it has to be done there in Saudi. And then the next one is feeding 6 poor people, and then you have for the mud portion, it's kind of like if you break a fast or something, you have to feed people. Same ruling applies to that. So we'll tell you, if you give us the mistake, then we'll tell you how much you have to pay. And there are banks there that takes the money and they slaughter for you if you make a mistake. And trust me, people make mistakes. I mean, I had one of my good friends who went with us. He made a mistake before we got to Jeddah. He had to slaughter a lamb. We were on the plane. We're like, how the? He made a mistake on the plane before we got to Jeddah, because we passed over the miqat in 3 people did it in the past 5-6 years. So good thing is we're going to Medina. So you have to make your intention before you get to Jeddah if you're going to Jeddah. So they fell asleep and they had to slaughter a lamb. Okay. Okay, here you go. This is the tawaf. This is the Umrah part. Yeah. We're going to go, the question is from online, when are we going to get into Ihram? We're going to get into Ihram in Medina. Before we leave, it's on your schedule. Before we depart from Medina, you get into the Ihram, but you don't make the intention. All right? We'll make the intention at the miqat. As al-Khalifa, when we get there, we get out, we do the prayer, we do the intention, and we do the talbiyah. We say, labbaik Allahumma labbaik. And inshallah, if people have, we can do groups, we can help individuals, but all of these are in the book as well, and they're very easy. And the intention could be in any language. It doesn't have to be in Arabic. You can say, I intend to go to Umrah, ya Allah, please accept my Umrah and make it easy for me. You can say, Allahumma inni uridu al-Umrah fayassirha li wa taqabbalha minni. You can say it in English, you can say it in Urdu, in Farsi, whatever language, as long as you're saying that I'm intending to make Umrah and Allah accept it and make it easy. So, and then so once we leave Mecca, we go to the miqat. We'll do the intention. We do the 2 rakat prayer. We do the talbiyah. We get into the ihram. From that moment on, no scratching, no using of soap, no toothpaste. Don't use perfume, nothing. Just khalas. Pretend you're dead. You're alive, but you're dead. Right? Dead from the things of this world, alive with Allah and His remembrance. So now you start that we will go to the hotel. We'll check in into our rooms. We'll refresh. People need to use the restroom if they need to eat. If you're going to eat, because we will get there probably at the dinner buffet time. If you're going to eat, please eat light, very light, because you will not be able to do Umrah and have on a full stomach. And I know most of you might be hungry from the ride from Mecca to Medina. But even if you're hungry, just very, very light food, and then go do your Umrah. We'll go together, inshallah. And the people who are first-timers, usually the group leaders, I'm just going to tell you straightforward. Like if I go Umrah with my wife, and people who have been there, they know, you split. It's really hard to keep people together, especially when it's so crowded. So if you get lost, don't worry. You're actually found. You're not lost. It's a good thing to get lost in Mecca, in the Haram. So all you have to do, you do your 7 tawaf, that's it. And then you meet at the Maqam Ibrahim. Everybody kind of connects back at Maqam Ibrahim when you do your 2 rakat prayer, right? Some people might do it 5 minutes later, or 2 minutes later, or 10 minutes later. But at one point, if you start together, you'll meet back there. If you split, let's say you're going with your daughter, or husband and wife. The problem is that your chest or your back cannot be towards the Kaaba. Anytime that your chest is toward the Kaaba, it invalidates your tawaf, or your back towards the Kaaba, right? So here's the problem: you're going with your wife. Oh, honey, where are you? You turn around, and the honey just broke your tawaf, right? So you don't want to do that. Just go together. Usually, they can for a husband and wife, they want to be together, and if they're going slower, I would recommend be on the right side. it's further away from the Kaaba, which is not too crowded, so you can just take your time and then you tawaf at your own pace, right? But I don't recommend being too close to the Kaaba at the time that we're going in, because it's very crowded. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, and you might turn, and it's not really. It's better to be in a place where you have enough room to maneuver. So that's how we start. We'll go in. Once we go in, inshallah, we'll go in making all the du'as of entering the haram, du'as of seeing the Kaaba. We'll do it. I mean, usually with the people who know, they do it. People who don't know, the group leaders, they will say in a very loud voice, so everybody repeats after them. We'll make all the du'as together, especially with the first timers or the people who have been there and like long time ago and they don't really recall the system. And those people who feel comfortable, that's fine. I mean, we have people who go every year, twice a year. So for them, they go in, they do their thing, and it's fine with us. So we'll start the tawaf from Hajar al-Aswad, from black stone, and we'll end it in the black stone. So the black stone, the easiest way to remember it is where the door of the Kaaba is. It's to the left of the door of the Kaaba. So that's the black stone. On the right side of the black stone, on the opposite side, there's a green light that matches the black stone. So if you can't see it, then you look on the right side, you see the green light. So you start from that green light or the black stone. But you will start when you do, we will do for the Hanafis, we will do the intention for the tawaf as well. The Malikis, they don't have it, but we do intention for the tawaf. Allahumma inni uridu tawafa baytika sab'a ishwatin lillahi ta'ala. So we would do that, the dua of, Ya Allah, I intend to do 7 circuit around your house, the Kaaba. Ya Allah, make it easy for me and accept it for me, right? So again, you can say it in Urdu, Farsi, English, whatever language you want. And then we'll start the tawaf by you're supposed to start the tawaf by kissing the black stone and then move. Since it's impossible to kiss the black stone, obviously, you would throw your hand towards the black stone, both palm of your hands, and then you kiss the hands without a noise. And it would be very annoying when you see all these people going like that. This is like really, it annoys me. It's supposed to be no sound. So you put your hand like that, that's it. You kiss the black stone, start, and then you start the first round. Now for the man, it's trotting. This is Ramal. The man is not running, okay? A lot of the people, they think it's a football game or something, they just keep running. It's the same speed as walking, but it's a shoulder movement, like this, all right? It's a shoulder movement. You go like this. It's hard. Trust me, it's hard, okay? And then, let me borrow your shoe. And then, if you have your ihram, so this is not ihram, but it will work for a demonstration. If you have ihram, obviously it's going to be like this when we go in, right? But once we start, we put this under like this. So this arm, the right arm, is exposed. For the first 3, this is for the men only, all right? I don't want any woman with the right arm exposed. We get killed over there. So the right arm exposed, the man, first 3 circuit only, all right? So, and then this is the shoulder movement like this, right? And then you make your dog. Not like this. You see people going like this. It's not a football game, obviously. You just have to make sure this is how you go. All right? Now, the 4th one, when you complete the 3rd, you walk normal and you cover. You cover back, your ihram like this. And you just walk normal. And then your shoulders will thank you for that.
Are these must movements?
These are the only thing that's must. We are going to teach you a proper umrah. All right, like a proper umrah. How to do umrah? Fard, sunnah, wajib, mubah, everything in there. If you want to do the bare, you can do the bare minimum. But why are you going there if you're going to do the bare minimum?
No,
Yeah.
Walking if someone forgets and just.
Yeah, so this is sunnah. It's sunnah to do, right? This is not fard. The going in tawaf is fard, right? But the way you do it, these are the sunnahs. So we want to make sure that people do it. If you have difficulties, let's say somebody has a broken shoulder, right? They can't do it. That's fine. You don't have to. But this is the proper way of doing the tawaf. And so you do 7 around. You can see the picture there. And then after the 7th, now you can do any du'as. There's 2 things.
Women just walk.
Women just walk, yeah. There's 2 things you have to be very careful. First of all, it's called Shahad al-Wan. There's a piece here. This is during Umrah. Again, don't go that close. Just don't go that. You won't get that close anyway. It's crowded, right? This Shahad al-Wan, which is right here, there's a piece that is inside the Kaaba. So if your foot goes in there, your tawaf is invalid because you went inside the Kaaba. All right? This is Hijr Ismail. You will see this semicircle wall in here, right? This one is also inside the Kaaba. It used to be inside the Kaaba, right? When they then rebuilt it, and now it's outside. So inside of this, if you go inside of this, even my teacher said, even if your arm is over this little wall, because that wall is about 4 feet, if people go like this, they walk with their arm over the wall. He said your tawaf is invalid because your arm just went inside the Hijr of Ismail, which is inside. You're supposed to do tawaf outside the Kaaba, not in the Kaaba. Got it? But if you get a chance, which you will, inshallah, men and women, praying in here, you get the reward of praying inside the Kaaba. All right? So everybody should try to pray in there before they come, at least to look at. And everybody, it's open, so you can get time to pray in there. So after the 7th tawaf, you come back, and then you will end up behind Maqam Ibrahim. All right? Please do not cut straight. It's very hard because there's millions of people are going this way, and you're trying to cut through them. So as you're passing the black stone, you just go slanted all the way to the side. Yeah. Now between the du'as, you can do any du'as. There's specific du'as if you know. If you don't, just any du'as, Quran, just keep reading. Between Hijr of Ismail, between these two corners, so there are 4 corners in the Kaaba, right? So this is the first corner is corner of Iraqi, right? And then this is Shami, and this is Yemeni, right? For Iraq, people of Sham and people of Yemen. And then this is the black stone, right? Between the Yemeni, which is the 3rd corner, and back where we basically start our tawaf, the black stone, the only dua in here, the sunnah is Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban. So you just keep repeating that. You don't do any other dua. Just keep saying Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban. So this is and then you finish the round here, you start a new round. All right? So, and then on the 7th one, you come behind Maqam al-Red. That doesn't mean you're here. All right? Because this Maqam used to be here. It was moved here at the time of Sayyidina Umar. Alright? So, you come here, and you can be here, anywhere. As a matter of fact, you can pray anywhere in the haram is valid. But this is the preferred area, this whole area right here, where you're facing the door of the Kaaba, that side, and the maqam between that and the maqam. Now, last year, my wife is a witness, I'm not lying, okay? True story. I went in there, we were making tawaf, and there was a sister, an older Desi lady, praying Maqam Ibrahim this way, towards Maqam Ibrahim with her back towards the Kaaba, literally. And I'm trying, and I can't touch her. Like I'm like, sister, I'm with my broken Urdu. I'm like, that's the Kaaba. This, she refused. She did her prayer, and the soldier was going like this. Honestly, this is. So you always want to pray towards the Kaaba, and the ruling is, and you have to know this rule. When you're inside the Kaaba, inside the mosque area where you can see the Kaaba, you have to face the actual cube building. If you're slightly off, your prayer is invalid. You have to. You have no choice. If you're outside, then you face the whole building, the whole structure, which is the not just the cube Kaaba, right? So inside is very important that people can see the Kaaba. I mean, sometimes we go there and it's like Kaaba is there, and we spring like this. Just slightly have to turn to make sure you're 100% aligned with the Kaaba. So once you do that, then you can do Ruk'atain, 2 Rakat prayer. All right, for Maqam Ibrahim. Again, Qul Ya Al-Kafirun, Qul Huwallahu Ahad is preferred, but any surah is fine. And then you do those. Take your time and make dua. Don't rush things. You're not there to rush. Trust me, time has so much barakah, you'll be shocked. Take it easy, make dua at that time. From there, you go to Sunnah to do this. You go to Multazim. Now, obviously, you can't go to Multazim, right? This is the Multazim. So there's strip between the door and the black stone. That little strip right here. Very small. It's probably about 4 feet. It's called the Multazim, right? So what you would do, you're standing here in the back, but you align your chest directly to that piece. And it has to be direct. This is one of the spots. Like, you can't be off. I usually, what I do, I line people up. Like, literally, I line the group up. So they're all lined up in that. Now, the Multazim, there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, beautiful hadith. And he said that Allah says that whoever stand at the Multazim and raise their hands and make dua, I swear by my qudra that I will not leave their hands empty. I fill it up with whatever they ask for. So this place, don't rush. I say spend as much time. All those people that are going to ask you for dua, make dua for them in there. That's the best place to make dua. Your families, your offspring, your teachers, everything, take your time. I don't care. I will stand an hour for people in there. I don't care. I will not leave until everybody's done. So take your time, make dua, and then maybe, you know, I've seen people in there cry that I start crying because of their crying. Just like very emotional place. But a lot of people, they don't go there. They just go to Zamzam. So then from there, you go to Zamzam. But before you go to Zamzam, it's always, you know, people do a goodbye, like they just throw their hands towards Hajar al-Aswad. It's okay if you do it, it's good. And then you go to Zamzam. Now, where is Zamzam? I have no idea. It changes every year, all right, because of the construction. I mean, you can't blame everything on the Saudis. They're doing a lot of expansion. So every year it changes. Last year it wasn't where the year before. The year before it wasn't. Every year it changes. So I can't tell you exactly where it's at, but we are there with you to make sure we get to Zamzam. Usually it's slightly to the left, so we go backward, and there's Zamzam. Zamzam, the secret of Zamzam is Ma'u Zamzam lima shuriba lahu. The Prophet ﷺ, beautiful hadith, said the water of Zamzam is for whatever you drink it for. In other words, it changes its formula based on your intention. So if you drink it for an intention, Ya Allah, give me shifa, it will become medicine. Ya Allah, give me a strength, it becomes like a power drink. Ya Allah, give me whatever you want. So, but one thing that Shaykh Muhammad told us, he said, make one dua for each time you drink Zamzam. One dua. Don't mix up the duas. So just when you drink the Zamzam, for this cup, for each cup, you do different dua. So you say, Ya Allah, protect my children. Bismillah. And then you do it in 3 sips. It's a sunnah. You have to stand up. It's a sunnah to sit down for water and drink. It's sunnah to stand up for Zamzam and drink. And you do it in 3 sips, not in one, you don't bottoms of it. In 3 sips, and you face the Kaaba. Always you have to face the Qibla. Even if you're not at the masjid. Whenever you drink, even in America, if you drink Zamzam, you have to face the Qibla and drink it, standing there. Okay, so then you're done from there, you go to Safa and Marwa. Where's Safa and Marwa? I have no idea. They changed again. Last year we had to go through a tunnel to get to Safa and Marwa. So we will get there, inshallah. No worries, all right? Sometimes, like last year, we ended up in the middle of Safa and Marwa. So we had to actually walk to Safa to start. So we had to go halfway because of the construction, right? Because all the doors are closed. So if we do that, we'll go and we start from Safa. And in Safa, we start from the top part, and when we go to Marwa, we go to the top. A lot of people, once they get to the top hill, they just make a U-turn and come back. The sunnah is to go all the way to the top. All right. I know that last few steps are really tiring because you're going uphill, but we'll do it, inshallah. And then you start from Safa. You make your intention. You make your du'as. And du'as, honestly, everybody has different du'as. Nobody can make du'a for yourself better than yourself. If people ask me to make dua for me, I can make dua for you, but the dua that you're going to make for yourself is going to be much different than dua I can make. Because you make dua for yourself and your children and your families like nobody else can do that. So these are the time to make your specific duas and be in connection with Allah. And then we start going down to Marwa. Now between Safa and Marwa, there's a place there's 2 green lights, right? Now, not 2. It's the whole thing now is green lights. It's actually, I don't like it. It looks like a circus or something, but I mean, it's like that exit sign, like that green, but it's like lines like that all the way through. And during that space, the men are supposed to do a run, right? But not too fast of a run, but it's supposed to be a jog, right? The women, they do their normal walk. Now, everybody knows the story of Safa and Marwa. This is the sunnah that even the men have to do it because of a woman, right? So Bibi Hajar, who's looking for water, going from one side 7 times between the 2 mountains to find water, and finally Jibril came, right, and with the foot of the baby Ismail, the Zamzam water popped up, and we're drinking it up to now. So if you truly go between these 2 mountains, Safa and Marwa, and you become Bibi Hajar, Allah will give you the spring of Zamzam that will come from your heart, and you will be satiated for the rest of your life. But you have to be really sincere, and you have to be really in a good state. Now, if you break your wudu, and it happens during tawaf, you have to be in wudu. So you can go back, make your wudu, come back and continue from where you left off. Okay, so let's say you're in the 5th round, right by Hajar al-Aswad, and you break your wudu, right? Go back, go to your room, or the haram, there's bathrooms, wherever you feel comfortable. Our hotel is actually closer, our rooms, than the haram's bathroom, because you have to go like 4 stories down. So just go to your room, make your wudu, come straight. Don't talk to anybody during that, right? Just halas, just go and just do that, come back and continue from where you left off. In Safa and Marwa, if you break your wudu, you can still continue doing Safa and Marwa. You don't have to be in wudu. It's preferred, right? But it's not mandatory. All right. So you do 7. For each time you make the dua, you face the Kaaba, you make the duas, and then you continue. And once you get to the 7, now there are people who do 7, 1, 2, 3. By the time they finish, it's actually 14. All right. So one time we went, a friend of mine, we finished, we went to the hotel, we showered, we came out, everything was done, and we saw her coming like so tired. I said, well, why did you finish so late? He goes, how did you finish so early? We finished like an hour ago. She goes, that Safa and Marwa killed me. You know, I said, what do you mean killed you? He goes, it took me 2 hours. I said, no, it's not supposed to take you that long. He goes, 1, 2. I said, no, 1, 2. So she actually did 14 Safa and Marwa. So don't make a mistake. It's 7 is actually 3.5. So you do 1, 2, 3. So you're supposed to end up on the opposite side on the 7th. All right. So once you're done with that, on the last time, make dua. That's the best time to make dua. You're done with your Umrah in terms of the activities. All you have to do now is just cut the hair, right? And that's it. Your Umrah is done. And then you cut the hair. For men, obviously, there's a lot of barbershop, halaq, and then you just go there, and most people shave. It's good to shave. Razor is the best. I'm supposed to say razor it. And if you do second Umrah, you can do razor over razor. You can just razor it again. And they have the one-time use razors. It's very, don't worry about the health issues. Yeah. So, and then in terms of wheelchairs, what I recommend for the people who want to do the Umrah, if you're capable of doing the walk of the tawaf, do it. If some people they can, that's fine. If you can, at least do the tawaf. But then the Safa and Marwa will get wheelchairs. They have wheelchairs there. Have money with you. You can rent them, and they will do the service for you. So I think I would say average about $50 to do the Safa and Marwa wheelchair. They have these, I call them the Mercedes-Benz chair. Like they're so comfortable, they're huge. So you sit in there, it's like a couch actually. And these guys, by the time we finish 2, they finish 7. They just run because they want to get the next customer, right? So, or you can get your own wheelchair if somebody's pushing. I actually, when I went to Hajj in 2006, I was doing my Umrah. I went with one of my high school friends. And I went to Hajj. I got into the hotel, my back went out. I have a bad back, and sometimes maybe a few years ago, it went out. I couldn't even walk. So we were supposed to do our first Umrah. And he said, no, man, I'm going to take you on my back. I said, there's no way I'm going to go on your back and make tawaf. He goes, no. So he said, no, I said, let me get a wheelchair. He goes, no, I'll push you. But he actually did he wanted to do that. So he pushed me to do my first Umrah on a wheelchair, which is a lot of blessing if somebody can do that for somebody. But it is also very tiresome to do that. So if you are planning to do, if you want to do the whole thing, you should arrange it that they come to the hotel and then just get you from there and do the whole system. I think they charge, I don't know, it just depends on the time of the month that we go. Sometimes it's 70 riyals, $70, sometimes it's $150. So it just depends on what kind of, how much they charge.
What's your people with kids? Their kids.
Okay, people with kids. These are questions from online, so thank you for not asking questions. All right. These are questions from online. Kids, I've been there with my kids for the past few years. It's a challenge, but it's doable. All right. The good thing is that we're going to do our Umrah at nighttime, so it's not, the sun is not going to be bothering them. It is tough. If you have really, really young children and you want to leave them and not, you know, and you want to make time. See, when we get to Mecca, inshallah, we're planning to get there after Isha is done. That's our goal, to get there when prayers are all done. All right. So if people don't want to do their Umrah at that time, they want to sit in their room and they want to go to sleep for 2-3 hours, they can do that, rest, sleep, and then they go at 12 o'clock at night and do their Umrah. They can do that, right? But if you go there and then during the prayer time, when the azan goes on, then you're going to the haram, right? And then you have to start your Umrah immediately. So it's tough, but if the parents are going, if one of them wants to go and leave the kids with the wife, and then the wife goes separately, that is doable as well. You know, my kids have been doing their Umrahs. It's tough, honestly, but 3 years ago, we got a wheelchair for one of my kids, because at Safa and Marwa, after the second round, like, he was getting blistered, literally. So, and for the kids who are not baligh, you know, if they haven't reached puberty yet, it's not fard on them anyway, so it's a kind of extra credit. If they do it, it's good, alhamdulillah. But I wouldn't put a lot of pressure on children, especially if they're like 7, 8, or that age group, you know. Inshallah. So that's something that the parents, they need to think about how they're going to handle it. All right, so let's wrap it up. Let's finish it. So Safa and Marwa, and then you do that, and then cut the hair. Again, there's difference of opinions in terms of the hair. I know a lot of people, they want to do the Imam Shafi 3 hair. You have to get an opinion from a Shafi scholar to make sure how does that work. It has to be from 3 different spots, and you don't want. For me, when you go all the way down there and you're doing all this hardship, you take off from work, you spend your money, you travel, and at the end of the day, you're not doing a proper haircut. It's like that's something is wrong. Like, you know, if you have to get the hair 1 inch from all around for the sister, just do that. Just get the 1 inch from all around. It's okay, you know. Inshallah. So there's a lot of people, they just want to take shortcut on things that are essential. Like that is like if you don't do the hair, you can't get out of ihram. You're still in ihram if you don't cut the hair. It's like not saying salam in the prayer, just sitting in a tahiyyat for the rest of your life. So make sure you do cut the hair. And obviously, if you're in ihram, you shouldn't cut people's hair either. So you should have somebody who's out of ihram to cut. That's the preferred way. All right. Okay. So next, what is it?
Strollers.
Strollers. Yeah.
Scissors
Scissors you can take with you for the haram. They allow you to take scissors and you can cut. But for the woman, I don't recommend you guys cut in the haram because you don't want to show your hair. There's a lot of people there. Come to the room, but come to the room and cut your hair. But remember that you're in ihram while you're coming to your room. A lot of people forget. They go to the room, they use the soap. Oh, but you're not out of ihram. You're still in ihram. Go to the room, cut the hair, then use the soap and shower.
There were some ladies when we had,
They do it, yeah.
and they just let you.
Yeah, they just, yeah, you can. But that's what I'm saying. Do it right. Don't just cut a little bit. Just, you're supposed to be from all around. You know, just you know, this length, just from all around. Just to do it properly. You can do it when you come to the room, yeah. No, somebody who's out of ihram. Yeah, somebody who's out of ihram. So one person has to, the best way for the sister, the way we recommend, although there's an opinion, and I don't want to get lynched by the online community, the opinion, and I've seen the proof my teacher showed me from the books in Hanafi madhab, that you can actually cut somebody's hair or even your own hair in Hanafi madhab with the intention that you're getting out of ihram. All right, but I'm not going with that opinion because it's very weak opinion. So the best way is a husband goes and gets the haircut, or a father or a son, they go get the haircut with the barbershop, and then they cut their wives or their daughters, and then that daughter go cut somebody else's, and everybody helps each other like that. That's the easiest way to do it. All right? And then you get a reward for getting people out of ihram, so it's a big blessings, these things. Next.
No more questions.
Okay, here.
Questions here.
Anything?
You have lots of content.
Okay.
Details.
Okay, let's just see what is there.
Valid the law conditions.
Okay, so these are, everybody knows. You have to be in state of purity. Obviously, we talked about it. Being covered, everybody knows. Kaaba on your left. If your Kaaba is on your right, then you're probably mad. Because everybody's going in one direction, you're going the opposite direction. So that, don't worry about it. Everybody would. Okay. Out of this, we talked about Shadr-1. You're not going to get that close anyways. That's the picture of the Shadr-1 there, the stone. So now, when you're finished from your Umrah, all right, the next day or that night when you're not tired, you go close and put your foot in there. Yeah, that's inside the Kaaba, right? In here. This is the Shadr-1. So your feet will go inside the Kaaba. It's good to be there. All right. And then, okay, stay out of Hatim, which we talked about, that semicircle. Stay out of it during the tawaf. You know that we talked about those. In other words, you can't do one tawaf and just say, you know what, I'm just going to rest for a few minutes. Let me Skype my family, told them I did one tawaf, and then I'm going to continue. It has to be continuously done, right? All right. So the only time we can pray, so this is the first Umrah. The second Umrah, you might get into that. So let's say you're doing tawaf, right? And then they call the adhan. What do? You continue until they call the iqamah, right? Continue. Once the police, they stop you, they will see like, okay, a few minutes. And then the iqamah, you stop and you do your prayer at the spot, right? Although you're facing the Kaaba, but that's the exception for the prayer. Once the iqamah is done, you stand up and you continue to finish your prayer. Another thing, if you finish your prayer after Asr, your tawaf, you cannot do the 2 rakat namaz, salat of, I just said namaz, didn't I? Yes. All right, the 2 rakat salah of the Maqam Ibrahim, because after Asr we can't pray. It's time that's not permissible. So that's this is a tricky thing. So that's why we're trying to get out of all this tricky stuff. So we do our prayer after all the prayers are done. Okay. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Okay. Kiss the black stone at the beginning.
There, then you do it after Maghrib.
Yeah, then you have to wait. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, you start at the black stone with the kissing. You know that Rukni Yamani. You know, and then for the Rukni Yamani, they do the right hand only. It's sunnah to do it. So you don't kiss it. You just throw the right hand like that. You give a salam. Okay. So we talked about those. I think I covered everything. Lots of dua. Mu'tazim, we talked about it near the Kaaba. Okay. Let me see the obligatory prayer. That's it. Recommended behind the maqam. We did that. Exception. Tawaf Asr, we did that. Zamzam. And there you go. That's tawaf, walking, sa'i. Yeah.
Will women be able to touch the black stone?
Okay. Will women be able to touch the black stone? Will men be able to touch the black stone? That's the question. It honestly, it depends. I wouldn't force myself. I haven't forced myself because one of my teachers said, you know how, you're in the house of God, in the holy sanctuary, and you're pushing His guests. So you just have to be. So I try to go, and if they push me, I just let it happen. My wife has been kissing the black stone almost every year, and I haven't been able to. So it just depends. If you're patient, you go there. Sometimes it opens up, and honestly, spirituality plays a big role. So if you really sit there, you contemplate, you cry, you say, Ya Allah, if it's, and you just go. And if it opens up, it opens up. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. This is Alhamdulillah. So it's all an intention. So once you go, you get the intention, you get the reward of kissing the black stone. And yes, I mean, as I said, I know people in the group, a lot of women that kiss the black stone every year. Anything else?
Trimming the hair.
Yeah.
When you go for this tawaf, if you're not doing Umrah, you're done with your Umrah, but you can still just go.
Yeah,
if
so-
it's not crowded, you can kiss.
Okay, so the not crowded is kind of like an oxymoron to say like Kaaba not crowded. It's crowded all the time. It's just less crowded. So if you go after midnight, 1 o'clock is a little bit less crowded, so you might have a chance. So for me, sometimes like it takes about half an hour in line and pushing and shoving to get to the black stone. In that half an hour, I can do 7 tawaf and then I get like I can do 7 tawaf and do ruk'atain. That by itself is big blessings. So one of the things that our ulama we asked them, what should we do for that extra time? So we have time. Should we read Quran? Should we fast? Should we pray extra nafil? What should we do in Mecca? And they said, you can read Quran anywhere in the world. You can fast anywhere in the world. You can pray anywhere in the world. But tawaf, you can only make it in the Kaaba. So just keep doing what's exclusively here as much as you can. So do 7 tawaf with 2 rakat, and then you can give the blessing to, let's say, your parents, your grandparents, your children. So if you can do Umrah, right? So 7 tawaf with 2 rakat. And then people who want to do the second Umrah, so basically what happens is we'll have courtesy buses every night. Is there anything else? No, okay. We'll have courtesy buses every night going to the miqat, and then we'll have people will go on those buses. You will take your shower, put on your ihram at the hotel. You go to miqat, which is 15 minutes, 20 minutes drive. The bus will stop. You go inside the miqat, Sayyidina Aisha's masjid, and then you would basically do your prayer, your intention, and you do your talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik. You say that. You go in the ihram, come back in the buses, and you come, and they'll drop you off back at the hotel. You can go directly to the haram and start your umrah, or sometimes my wife comes home and sleeps and rests for 2-3 hours and waits till it quiets down at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then she goes and does her umrah then. So you have a choice depending on how you want to do it. It's better to just, if you can do it, go do your umrah, get it done with, and you'll be done by 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. But some people, they want to get done with the prayer. So when they're done, they do fajr, they come home back to the room. So every night we'll have the second umrah at night. So if you want to do a second umrah in the daytime, so there are people, trust me, there are people who, we went in 2007 with Imam Dawood Yassin. We went to umrah, and then I said, I'm going to do 2 umrahs today. And this is, when you're young, you can do it. So I did my first umrah, and we were sitting there, and I said, I can't do it. I'm going to lie down. So I fell asleep in there. So me and my friend just fell asleep on the carpet for like 3-4 hours in the haram. So we woke up with the sound of the adhan. We woke up, we went, made wudu, came back, and then we prayed, and then saw Imam Dawood in the haram. I said, what do you think? Oh, I'm finishing my 3rd. I said, you finishing your what? Your 3rd. He did 4 umrah in 1 day. And I'm a witness of that. 4 umrahs in 1 day. But he used to play college football. He's a mountain climber. If you're an athlete and you can do it, yes. But I wouldn't recommend 2 umrahs for ordinary people, because it will make you'll get sick, you'll fall, and then people do it, and then the next thing you know, it's like they're in their room. Oh, brother, I can't move. I'm dying. It's like, why did you do that? You climbed the mount, the Har Thawr, and you did an umrah in 1 day. It's impossible for people who are not athletes. So those are the things you have to know your own health, your own ability to do it. And then the Har Thawr, the Ghar Hira, those 2 mountains in Mecca, those are not obligation, the part of the program, but it's, if you want to go, you can go. I usually go. Last year we went to Hira with Hajj Wali, and then we climbed up all the way. It takes up to like 3 hours, depending how fast or good you are. Some people, I would recommend, this is what I would recommend, people who can do it. Go, take a few steps. Do the sunnah. Just go take a few steps, maybe 10 steps, 20, 30, whatever you can. And then come back down and go. At least do something. Don't be like, oh, I'm not going to go. Just have that zawq for the Prophet ﷺ, and then go and do something for those walks. We went last year after Asr, and it was good. We came back like right Maghrib. We actually prayed Maghrib up there and then we came back down. Yeah. You can see the clock tower from there now because it's above the mountains. Kind of weird seeing that clock tower. But anyways, that's a Umrah in a nutshell. We'll do a more detailed Umrah in Medina, inshallah, before we leave. And that's about it. Any questions, comments, anything? Yeah.
So if you're going to do your second Umrah, you have to actually leave and then come back.
Yeah.
So for the women, are you supposed to have your mahram with you?
No. No. So this is.
Repeat the question.
Huh? Okay. So the question is basically for the women who are leaving to do the second Umrah, they have to leave the haram. They have to have their mahram with them. No. The closest place that you leave the haram is Masjid Bibi Aisha, right? Which is 15 minutes drive. The furthest is like, it's an hour drive, right? Because the shape is not a circular shape. It's really, there are maps of it. You can look at the haram map. So we'll get in the buses. You'll go, everybody together, miqat. You go there, you come out, you do your intention, and you have your clothing already on. You have your wudu, your ghusl, everything. Just do the ihram, just do the intention, the prayer, the intention, and the talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Get on the buses, come back, you're done. You start the second one. You want to do a third one, you can take a bus, you can take a taxi and go. There are people who do that. I mean, there are people who do 5-6 umrahs in the program in 4 days in Mecca. I recommend, for Malikis, is only one umrah, by the way. If you're a Maliki madhab, you can only do one. So, one per year, per trip. Yeah, and it's supposed to be one trip a year for them. But anyways, it's one Umrah for the Malikis. So that's why I'm telling you, everybody become Hanafi, all right? Come to us. You can do multiple
Do you have to do
This
Safa Marwa every single time you do Umrah?
For Umrah, yes. So Umrah is everything that we said as Umrah, A to Z. Tawaf only, like if you do Tawaf, you do intention for Tawaf, you can do 7 Tawaf with the 2 rakat. It's not like Umrah, but it is, they say it's half Umrah. But the Umrah itself is a unique reward. It is tough, yeah. And then, like, if we, another blessing that we go to Medina, the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba, they went to him and said, people in Mecca, they have Umrah, and we don't have Umrah here, and we're with you. The Prophet ﷺ said, if you go on Saturday and do 2 rakat prayer at Masjid Quba, you will get the reward of Umrah. So that's why our visit is on Saturday to Masjid Quba. So we go there, we do 2 rakat prayer, so we get an extra Umrah in Medina. I'm sorry? Yeah, that's for everybody, yeah. So a lot of people, they would go, can I go, brother, one more time on Saturday? So they were going like 3-4 times on Saturday. I said, I don't know, you guys are breaking the rules now. So. Any other questions? Okay, Jazakallah khair. And we have some refreshment for you guys that Jazakallah khair, Haji Wali and everybody, Nasira John and everybody, and Seki Caravan put it together in the other room. Yeah, and then we have your passports. So